My name is Pamela Moulton, but I go by Posey. And the project I just worked on is called Beneath the Forest, Beneath the Sea, a series of 3 larger-than-life, very whimsical sculptures that are made entirely out of ghost gear or discarded fishing gear. Involving the community in my artwork is absolutely essential to my practice. Community is my energy force. I work with the community in all my projects. Public spirit is where I really focus because I feel that through collaborating with your community, you infuse this spirit and this energy. You learn so much creating work together. I'm a teaching artist, and so through my network of schools, I know so many people, and I know the parents. So the parents will say, well, the Girl Scouts are at the ecology school, they're doing an event, would you come and do a project about trees? So there I have 70 more students, and then there's a parent there that says, oh, would you like to come and work with this organization? I'm like, I never say no, and it just keeps growing and growing. This particular project, there were about 5,600 collaborators. As part of the Tempo Arts Commission, I was asked to curate programming around my sculptures. There was a pink picnic, which was really like a happening, with pop-up performances with my sculptures and other artists. A contemporary dance performance, an art-making event where the public could make wearable art with the remnants, and then there is a poetry and a musical happening. Well, there are 2 reasons why I chose pink. One is because we were just coming out of this kind of dark period with the pandemic, and I felt like we needed something joyful in the landscape and something that contrasted to the green landscape. And I imagine them in the wintertime like pastries with frosting on them. Pink also because pink is the color of climate change. Ice in the Antarctic has communities of algae that are turning the ice pink, and they call this watermelon ice. And then there are lakes that are over-acidic and that are turning also pink. So, and the red blooms of algae in our seas. So pink is to bring attention to the problems we're facing with our climate. So on the waterfront, you see these vessels coming in with ghost gear, just with piles of debris and derelict fishing gear and traps and buoys. And down at the docks, these big piles of nets. And in people's yards, there are these nets that are no longer being used. Just tons and tons of this ghost gear. And so, and when I saw like what is being hauled out of the Gulf of Maine, I thought, ooh, that's a way for me to make art with something that's really hurting our marine life in our oceans. My source of inspiration for these sculptures started out, I wanted to create trees that imagine that you take your hands and you tease the tree out of the earth so you are standing under the understory, like the secret part of trees. But as I worked with so many people and with this material, which was new to me, the material took over. The material had such power that these creatures, they started to take on another life. They started to take on, we'd see barnacles, we'd see these disappearing species that are leaving, the Gulf of Maine. It really became an underwater creature. And then I changed the name of the sculpture, and I didn't want to give any information because I believe that you see so many things. I mean, I would never want to impede someone's imagination. So the other part of my practice when I'm not working with 5,600 people, in fact, I really starve for that quiet and that solitude. I usually take the materials that I've used in the larger scale project and then I really do like a deep dive into investigating that material, and then I make wall sculptures and works of art out of those materials. And that's really when I learn myself and I lose myself in my own practice. It's very nourishing and it restores my energy, and it's an important part of who I am. So it's both sides. I have like the very energetic public side, and then I have a very calm, meditative, like studio practice. It's very important for me to have playfulness in my work. So often as adults, we lose that sense of playfulness and we don't allow ourselves to have that freedom. So for me, it's really important to stay fresh and to try new things. I don't even think about what I'm making. It's very intuitive. I just really create it through the play.